Alright, this is dry fitted at the moment. You can see I've painted up in the wheel bay. My last session, I think, after I did the video, I did a bit more. I put, you got two wing spars. You got one that has angles, that's for your prototype A, and this one straight 180 degree one is for the service version, the big wings. And you got another, so that plugs into the ceiling of the gear bay, and then another part for the service version D20 pushes over top of it and it slots in. So again, that all lines up, and there's slots so you can't get it wrong. I did a bit of dry brushing in the cockpit, and I don't think you're going to see much when it goes together. Alright, let me go back. So definitely those little tabs, if you're doing the service version, so the big wings, they have to come off, otherwise the wings don't plug on. You can see, obviously, I've put the gear legs on, and the other, the actuators. There's all. We saw how the big ones fit, and then these ones, there's a hole in the ceiling that they push into, and then there's a pin on the gear leg, and the end of it's got a hole that pushes onto that pin. That's alright. These ones are a bit more difficult. There is a recess there. That red mark isn't a hole through, it's just a recess, so that just sits in it, not all the way through, so it's not a real positive push-in fit. It can come out, and then it just rests in the curve of the gear leg there, so there's not real lot hold. Obviously it's glued, but there's not a lot with that one to hold it. Right, so I'm a bit, how all this fits, I'm concerned. I've done a dry fit, so now I'm going to get back on here. Where was that? No. Here. So that's your engine fairing for the right side. So it says the atom before you put the wings on. So I've done a bit of a dry fit, and I don't feel that it's lining up right. So I believe that little corner should sit on there, so you can see how that mates up. It's all squared up, but there's nothing to hold it there. But if that's squared up, this is way out. If that's squared up, that's way out. So might be a bit of manipulation required to square all that up. So that's a bit of a concern at this stage. It might be right, I don't know, I'll see. Sit that there a minute. I need to go back to the page I wanted. Right. Again, they've left out some part numbers. D78 and D79, and I don't even know the purpose. So they're like covers for the gun port, but if you left them off, you can see in there, and you're going to see a whole heap of nothing. I've put them in, but I'm not sure. You got cannons in there, so what was the go with that? Did it actually, when they're armed or something, does that come away to fire, or was that a blank that you can't uses of cannons, I don't know, but I put them in anyway because, like I said, otherwise there's a hole. It's not huge, but you can still see in there, and there's no detail, so I'm not sure about that. But they have, yeah, you can see they got the part there, but no number again. So they've done that a few times. And I've done a quick, because I built it as one, I wasn't going to show it. Now I've changed my mind. I've done a quick paint job on it. I sort of went a bit off there. Singers all over the place. So I went a bit off what they said. Oh, similar anyway. I just used different shades of AK Extreme Metals. So I did metallic smoke for the nozzle and there, and then I went over it with grab it, randomly over it with burnt metal, just mottling, and then I went over some areas with metallic purple smoke and metallic blue smoke, which is well, not smoke, they're just metallic blue and metallic purple, just to show like heat effects on the metal. And I painted those hoses or pipes, hand brushed them with copper. No, they probably wouldn't have been copper, but I'm just adding a bit of colour to it. And I painted that metal part is steel, aka real colour steel, which is quite like that. I use it a lot, use it on radial engines as well. And that's Tamiya semi-gloss black on the black part. So I guess I have followed it somewhat to what they said, but just added my own touches to it. So that's obviously, I'll give it a wash, but so we'll see some of my one. I'll keep the so putting this one on the right side, I'll keep the left side one off, but I'm still going to have the wing on. So wing, weapons, and I'll put the gear doors in. So you'll see some of it, but not heaps, I don't think. And because I'm having it open now, I'm going to have to take care of all these. You probably won't see them all, but that way you'll definitely be able to see some. And so I'll probably just do them all, fill them, sand it. But the other side, excuse me, other side I'll paint it and sit it next to the aircraft probably when it's finished built, and I'll sit it that way, and then I won't need to fill in all the other injection pin marks. So I'm gonna, I'll probably do that next, and I have to work out this alignment of all this. I don't know if well, you can't really bend the fuselage because it's molded as one, so see how all this fits on. Engine is glued in. Alright, there's a piece that goes in the spine, so that's half of it there sticking out, A20. So it's really just the rear inner fuselage, but you will be able to see a bit of that, I think, through the gear doors. So I've painted it all up. There is an access panel here that can go in, and you can have that open. Where's that? there, part A7, I'm going to have it shut. There's nothing in there except ejection pin marks. But if you wanted to, I'm sure down the track you'll see heaps of super builds of these things, all scratch building and added things to it, like in the build phase of the aircraft. Alright, now, so that part's in, and backwards and forwards. So we got A9, that's this piece, so really that's sort of where the two engine fairings meet. And I'm hoping this might help align this part up, but I'll soon see. And these support bracket pieces, they're a bit, again, vague. I know where the one end goes, they point to that, and there is an arrow pointing up in, basically it's just pointing up in here. Like, there's no, I can't see where it's meant to fit, so all I've done is pushed it in as far as I can this side, and I'm just letting it sit there. It's not actually structural, it's just, in reality it would be, but I was under the impression, I think that piece at the end should probably go up into that slot, which is parts that were added earlier, but it won't. If I try and put that in there, that becomes bowed, so I'm just letting it sit like that. But yeah, it's a bit, some areas they show you, like when you go to the next step, those pieces, that piece isn't even in there, because I was thinking, oh, this picture might show me better, but it's not even there, so just whatever, I guess. So that's, I haven't given it a wash or anything yet. I'm going to glue the fuselage halves together now, seeing that I've done that spine piece. I've painted all RLM 66. The instruction callouts are all up in here is aluminium, but I've done it the RLM 66 because it's a dark colour, and you can see up in there, and you probably, if you picked it upside down, you might see a few ejection pin marks. They're a bit harder to pick up with a dark colour. If you painted that aluminium, they'd probably stand out a lot more. That's just why I've painted it all the same colour. So I'm going to, put this on now and see. It doesn't really want to pull in there, does it? It will with force, but I was hoping it just will click in. What's going on? Okay, it's going to be a bit of fettling by the looks of it. It looks like the cockpit tub maybe is stopping that from, I mean, it will go, glue it, pinch it in and wrap some tape around or something, but I thought it might be a bit better than that. Anyway, we will get there. Just a bit of tensioning required. So that shall be next, and when I'm gluing that, letting it dry, I'll do it in sections and I'll come back. I've filled these ejection pin holes, so there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I mix CA glue with powder, talcum powder. I bought VMS's glue filler, but it's I would imagine it's just talcum powder, because I did used to use talcum powder. It looks the same to me. Just that's in a smaller bottle. So yeah, I can sand, clean it up, paint that, because like I said, you'll be seeing. No, that way, wasn't it? No, can't remember now. That way. Yeah, I think this is where the problems begin. It's just don't look like it's all going to square up to me, but I'll wait till I've glued all this up properly, then I'll look at that. When everything's loose, it's not a proper true fit. Alrighty, I'm gluing it together. I think I might have a bit of a gap there. I don't know why. I think this section might have been that spine I glued up inside. Maybe it was a bit too wide. I mean, it's easy to fix anyway, because it's just recessed rivet details there, so I'm putting them back in. This is all loose fit. Just trying to work out how this is gonna all come together. So basically the fairing cover, this piece at the back should be flush with the fuselage there. I'm still left. Right, I'm gonna pull everything back off here. I put it together because it was quicker if I go backwards instead of bumbling around. Everything always goes wrong. So there's a bit of a gap there still. That's pretty good. It seems to line up with that bottom piece. Now I'll set that there in a second. I put the wing on just to see how it fit. It does fit, no worries. So there was still that gap as well. So there's a bit of a gap there, and that gap's there. And as we just saw, when you put the wing in or on, you won't see that gap. There's a bit shown there, but this needs to tuck in a bit. So this piece, if you're gluing it together, you're probably going to have to do it in sections to try and line it all up. It's not just straightforward, because there's such a large area and there's no real positive bits where it clicks into or supports it. Like this rear section really needs to come right up against the engine to line the back up. So it's just a bit of fiddling around, that's all. Now I did all those ejection pins, or started to, but let's save you time because you can't see nothing. You can see there, the only one you might be able to see a bit of are these two, but I don't think so. So I'm just going to paint it and glue it on because I can't see it. I started cleaning them up, but I did a dry fit on it. This is just wasting my time because you can't see them. So a lot of areas I'm like, oh man, they got heaps of ejection pin marks, but they sort of, something is in the way that you can't see them, which is good. I put the insert in at the top here, but it's got a gap on one side, so I've glued that side. I'm going to try and, I don't think it will though. I was going to try and pull in the other side. It might a bit. That's going to need a bit of putty, I'd say, that one. Again, no big deal. So yeah, just when that dries, I have to start cleaning up all these seam joins.